Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to today's morning report on Monday the 13th of July with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Handtech Markets. European trading session got off to a pretty strong start on the equity side, not necessarily so much on the currencies, but I'll get back to that in a sec. But we've got a Greek deal finally after 17 hours of negotiations. Apparently the Eurozone leaders came out just around 8 o'clock this morning UK time and announced that they'd come to an agreement over Greece. That keeps it in the Eurozone, which is obviously a good thing. Quite how they got there is probably not as good, but still the agreement is there, it's on the table. And now Greece has to go back and try and sell it, or the Syriza party have to now go and sell it to Parliament in terms of trying to get it through and ratified in the national Parliament before Wednesday. After Wednesday, that the money effectively would run out, but still the ELA has not been increased, still at around 89 billion euros. So for now the Greek banks presumably remain closed, but the deal is on the table for Greece to remain in the Eurozone and continue within the ESM bailout fund, European Stability Mechanism. It's had to engage in a series of big concessions, though, you'd imagine. Certainly this privatisation fund, 50 billion euros, sort of a bridging financing is how they're sort of referring to it, is quite a significant climb down. That's something that certainly Greece would not have wanted to do, but also they're going to have to put into place the a whole series of tax hikes on VAT and also pension reforms and labour market reforms as well. So it pretty much looks as though Syriza haven't done a great deal, although it would appear that they are to be considered for reprofiling of their debt after the first review of the Greece programme. So if they actually get the programme initiated of the deal, then they might be able to get a debt reprofiling. So that is, I suppose, the main victory there for the Greeks. Anyway, how's this impacting on the markets? Well, peripheral Eurozone yields, interestingly, actually had been lower. Well, let's start with German Bund yields higher. So that would suggest out of safe havens, move out of safe havens. Interestingly enough, we had the initial move down on the peripheral bond yields, but they're now pushing higher. Interesting. Spain is higher. Italy, let's quickly look at Italy, also slightly higher on the day. So there's not so much of a positive reaction on that, and certainly the strong reaction has come through the equity markets, but also the currency markets are not all that positive either. You've got the euro, which is actually trading sharply lower on the day. It's actually reversed about 100 ticks since the announcement of that deal, and is now trading down about 90 ticks on the day. So the dollar index is up. The dollar is actually strong against pretty much every currency apart from sterling at the moment, and that is an interesting situation there, that you've got that the dollar is generally seen to be a bit of a sort of safer haven play, certainly against the riskier currencies anyway, such as the euro and the commodity currencies, but certainly at the moment the dollar is strong on the day. We haven't got any economic announcements today, so this is going to be that the Greece story playing out all day now. But I will take you through to my chart of the day now, which is silver, actually, because silver's been in this downtrend, and every time it comes back to this downtrend, it sort of sells off again, and you've been having a bit of pressure on that downtrend now. But certainly look at this 21-day moving average, which has been capping the gains every time over the past month, and every time it gets towards that 21-day moving average, it gets sold off. Now the momentum indicators are negatively configured, apart from this stochastics oscillator, which, if I can get a proper line, I can show you here. You've got this bull divergence here. Stochastics are rising whilst the price is falling, so that is a bull divergence. That sort of leaves me a little bit up in the air to a certain extent, but still I'd be saying play this downtrend, play the 21-day moving average. The RSI is just falling over again. MACD lines are certainly not turned up yet, so I think there's still still capacity for further downside in this move, and certainly today, even now today, with the announcement of the Greek deal, you've seen the silver price continuing to fall away, and it's almost as though this has just been another rally into a resistance band. That is a chance to sell that resistance band, sort of the old lows coming in around 1540 up towards 1580. That's a fairly sizable resistance band, but still that is a big resistance band that is playing out and continues to be in force on silver. And so falling over, I think you're still using the rallies as a chance to sell. It's sort of momentum indicators on the hourly chart are not they're not as bad as they were in terms of negative, but certainly they're not positive, I would say. So I would think that this is still playing out as part of this sort of rally into a sell zone. That would be another chance to get out. I mean, look at that resistance around 1550. 1550 is that sort of old big floor, basically, that we had consistently used, and basically you just rally back towards there on silver. So there's still a significant amount left to do for this to be a really improving chart, and certainly that 21-day moving average is still falling away, still providing resistance, and looks to be, I think, another selling opportunity. So I wish you good luck in your trading on silver today and all around the euro, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.